So this also with my love of fantasy is from 3D Total Publishing, and it's part of their Sketching from the Imagination series. I have not all of them because there are some of them that just weren't interesting to me, but fantasy, of course, was one of the ones that was interesting. And I mean, this essentially is, it's a good book, but I love it for just sort of like inspiration and getting to know artists. So it's kind of separated by, of course, by names. It's separated by names, and essentially what it is, and it goes from A to Z. So, each artist gets their own little section, and essentially what they're sharing with you is their sketchbooks and just like how they get their ideas, how they do their work, like what kind of tools and whatnot do they use. And it's just like the first one I had seen in the bookstore was what was it? It was the sci-fi version of Sketching from the Imagination. So as you can see, like it's just like an interview form. So they give you a little bit of interview with the person. They tell you, like their sketching techniques, and then they just show their artwork. So you can get a lot of difference. And I think that's what I kind of like. They all run on similar themes. Like this is for fantasy. So it's basically, just people's interpretations from their sketchbooks of fantasy. And, like I said, if you are someone, like if you really love artwork, or if you're an artist yourself, or if you just love to look at artists and technique and things like that, I definitely recommend this book. Like they have a lot of different ones. The ones I don't have is the one for sci-fi, and I think the one for horror, because those are just two kind of art genres that aren't my favorite. But each artist, of course, has different. So you can get kind of like those classical, kind of like fantasy characters, like, the elf here, or, and it's a little bit like you have artists who have like that kind of like comic booky style, and then those who just like creatures, and those who have like the more realistic. And yeah, just being able to just see someone's work and just like know that because like one of the things they talk about is that like some of it is unfinished work, and a lot of it is just like they're just when they're just thinking, or when they're just just sketching, and it's not, it's just nice to look at. Like this art